All right, so in the last video, I showed these images, give you an idea of where the blood supply to your hairline hair comes from. So they come up the forehead and they get really thin by the hairline. So these are delicate blood vessels that are really vulnerable to any sort of stretching that could really impact the blood delivery to your hair. And these blood vessels do seem like I think they deliver deliver the blood to your hair. So what's going to affect that is your skull shape and your forehead area. So like this guy, like this kind of bulging area here, and then this long gradual curve that's really going to stretch those blood vessels thin. Those blood vessels can't get the blood to this hair here. They're really struggling. So this got long sloping forehead, a little bit of a bulge there, not so much evident, but a long sloping rounded forehead, and it's probably got some expansion up here. These blood vessels can't get to the hair there anymore. This guy's got a shorter forehead. See this rounded, gradual roundedness. The blood vessels don't seem to like that. They like sharp, like straight up and then sharp contouring to the top of the head. They don't like this gradual curve. I guess it stretches them out. And this guy, not so much severe hair loss, just some at the temples, but you see there's a roundedness to the forehead, sloping forehead, gradual curving into the top of the head. Once it sufficiently flattens out, then he's got hair, because there's other blood vessels coming up, or there's another artery here delivering hair to here, but this artery can't stretch and deliver hair to the hairline that well. These arteries rather can get the blood there. Well, this kid, it's a little sloping, but he's got a very straight up and down forehead. Right? This guy's more curved. This guy's more flat. Curved forehead, flat forehead. Curved forehead, flat forehead. And then there's a sharp contour. It goes up and then straight up and then curves. That's what these arteries like. They like a flat surface. They don't like a curved surface. They like a flat surface. This guy, very flat, straight up and down forehead. These arteries like a flat surface. That's why you get like really strong hairlines. You have a flat forehead. And this guy's more sloping back forehead, a little bit of roundness, this tiny bit of recession, but it's mostly a flat surface here. It's sloped, but it's flat. So these arteries like a flat surface. They can deliver hair to this area. A female, like a flat surface, flat straight up and down surface. That's why she can get hair right here in this ridiculous temple area. You know, the people who have hair here have very flat, straight up and down foreheads without fail, right? As opposed to this guy, Matt Halliday. So he's got see this bulge, this fat bulge on the front of his forehead. This is going to affect the blood flow from this area, probably this area too. And this bulginess is going to affect the blood flow from this temporal artery. Right? Blood vessels, they get weaker and weaker, shorter or thinner and thinner as they get more towards the hairline. Those are getting stretched out. They can't get blood here, so I can't grow any hair. Statham, another guy with a bulge. Right? These blood vessels are getting stretched. They're really thin. They're getting stretched and compressed. They can't get blood here. I can't grow hair there anymore. Right? This poor guy is getting a hair transplant. Doesn't realize this is not fertile ground for hair growth. Once they put hair here, it's going to fall out eventually. You're just resetting the clock because this area can't get blood flow. It can't get blood flow from the front of a supraorbital artery. That's what they're called, supraorbital arteries. And this temporal artery is not going to get blood to there either that well. So these hairs are going to fall out eventually. It's going to have a very strange pattern, loss pattern. It's going to look weird. Poor guy. Another bulge here in the front area. This common bulge. Like there's going to be some degree of bulge in this frontal area. I think it has to do with this coincident, like the bulge is in this area where you have this prefrontal cortex, which is where you do your thinking, and thinking is, well, thoughts are energy, and if anything that with energy has a force to it, and your thoughts go outward. When you think, your thoughts go outward. That's why your thoughts go out to people. Your prayers go out to people. Thoughts originate in this part of your brain, and then they go out. Prayers go out. Thoughts go out. If you're constantly thinking, there's a force pushing out in this area. Something is pushing against the front of these guys' skulls. Right? Something. What do men do a lot more of than women? Women are intuitive. They think with their guts more. Not their gut, like their gut. Not their like all their intestines, their actual digestive tract. That's where intuition comes from, gut feeling. These men think with their head. We're in our heads more. And this area is right in the area where something is pushing out on a male skull. Males are logical. Males rely on thinking. They don't rely on intuition. They rely on thinking, which happens here. Might be a connection there. But something's pushing out on this guy's head. Weird bulging. Like, what's pushing out? Well, what's behind it? That. What's pushing it up on this guy's skull? Up and kind of out in the frontal area. Something's doing it. Here's my baby girl. Saw this video in the last. So this area, babies have the same sort of pattern. They have rapid development in their prefrontal cortex. I wonder if that's related. Either way, like this bulginess is what's preventing these arteries, the supraorbital arteries, from delivering hair here. Even if it's not this, right? It's the roundedness of the bulginess of the forehead, the long, bulgy, gradually curving forehead. That's making it very difficult for the artery system to deliver hair in this area. Right? My daughter's not the only one with a bulgy forehead. Look at this guy. A bulging forehead and then a gradually sloping head to the top of the head. He's not going to be able to get blood delivery here yet. Once these kids grow up and they grow into their juvenile skull shape, this will flatten out and they'll get hair here. But they too, just any human who has a giant bulge here and a gradually sloping to the hairline forehead is going to have a male pattern baldness phenomenon, a loss pattern. And there's going to be some bulging somewhere, like this guy's front view, but you can see there's some bulging there. You see the light, and then bulging on the sides. Bulging is not good for blood delivery. There's my daughter. Boom, boom. Where'd you put my mic muffler? She's always hiding my shit. Anyway, this guy. See, you can't really see much of a bulge here. I mean, you can kind of, I can see it. There's a little bit of bulge there, but a very sloping forehead. You see there's a lot of bulging in the sides of the head. It's starting to bulge in the top. It's going to be bulging somewhere, and that's going to affect blood delivery. This guy, this is kind of more like my loss pattern. Mine's a little more advanced than this guy, but you see a lot of bulging here in the forehead, and then sloping temples. The arteries do not like this sort of surface. Hey, boom, boom. Patrick Stewart, don't mess with my stuff. I'm working. So you have this, it's kind of like a sloping forehead, not much of a discernible bulge, but definitely a big bulge back here. And that's going to affect, there are more arteries on the sides of the head. I think it's my next slide now. Yes, it's a, yeah, see this, another arterial system. Again, very robust blood flow in this area because you got big arterial blood vessel here. It's a very wide, and then it gets thinner and thinner as you get towards the temples and the top of the head. So this bulging is going to really stretch out the thinner parts of the arterial system, and not going to be able to deliver blood flow that way. So I put these other photos here. You can see that we have some humans without any male pattern baldness, but they have a very sloping or rounded forehead. And so they don't have low hairlines. They have much higher hairlines. So they're relying more on this temporal artery to deliver blood flow to the hair, which doesn't, you can't get that ridiculous, this guy hairline, right? You get this ridiculous hairline with the supraorbital arteries, I believe. This will get blood flow on the top of your head where it's sufficiently flat, right? We're sufficiently flattened out. This temporal artery can reach it. These frontal arteries are not going to be able to reach this area, so she doesn't have like a low hairline. Right? She doesn't have a low hairline because of slopingness. These arteries can't get hair to this area very well. It's going to rely a lot on that temporal artery. Same with these kids. Right? This artery system is getting stretched out. This artery is getting stretched out. This artery is getting stretched out. All right, so it's going to have to rely more on this and not so much the frontal ones. All right, this is how, whenever you get hair in this area, it's because you have a very short forehead, very steep, and then it contours sharply to the top of your head without fail. Is there anything else I want to say about this? No, I'll just figure out something else for the next video. But yeah, never mind. I'm done.